So in this video, ipagpatuloy natin yung practice natin tungkol sa sum and difference rule of differentiation. And be reminded that nasa basics pa lang tayo. That means we're still at the algebraic functions or algebraic expressions pa lang tayo. Alright? So first and foremost, let's have a recall muna. So when we say sum and difference, rule of differentiation, okay, ito kasi ibig sabihin niya, the derivative of f of x plus or minus g of x is equal to the derivative of f of x plus or minus the derivative, wait, the derivative of g of x. Yan. There you go. That's it. So you see, kung mapapansin nyo, yung derivative notation, tapos yung parenthesis dito, kung mapapansin nyo, ano siya di ba? Na-distribute siya sa isa't isa sa mga functions. So basically, the derivative of a given sum or difference between the given functions is basically the derivative of each of the function. Okay? So if we have the derivative of f of x plus or minus g of x, that means we're going to have the derivative of f of x plus or minus the derivative of g of x. So to simplify things, kapag meron kang group of terms, okay, tulad nito, the derivative of x squared minus 4x plus 3, ibig sabihin nun, you're going to differentiate the terms one by one. So we will have the derivative of x squared minus the derivative of 4x plus the derivative of 3. Diba? So, ganun lang. Okay? So, let's have nga a short practice before we're going to proceed to the introduction of other algebraic expressions na pwedeng apply ng ganitong rule. So, let's start first with the first term. Anong derivative ng x squared? So, since we have a variable and an exponent, we are going to use power rule of differentiation. So, paano ulit yung power rule of differentiation? Una, ikopya mo lang si exponent. Tapos yung base tuloy yung given na si x squared. Tapos yung exponent part, i-subtract mo ng 1. Okay? So, ganun yon. So, 2 minus 1 is 1. Or pwede namang gawin natin as x. Okay? Minus derivative ng 4x. Dito, pagdating sa isang na may kan at and kukunin mo yung derivative niya, then yung derivative nito ay yung constant niya. Ang derivative ng 4x ay ang 4. Yung constant lang ang kukunin mo. Okay? And now, last but not the least, yung derivative ng 3, which is your constant term. Recall natin ang derivative ng constant term ay 0. So, magiging plus 0 na siya. So, let's combine similar terms. We will have 2x minus 4. This could be now your final answer. Or, pwede pa natin itong i-simplify. Because 2x and negative 4 are both divisible by 2. Therefore, the greatest common factor nilang dalawa ay 2. So, we can factor out 2 in this expression. So, magiging 2 times quantity x minus 2. Ayan. So, yan na yung magiging final sagot natin. So, sorry. So, when it comes to this type of given, I think you know now what to do. Well, how about naman kaya sa mga terms na parang hindi ganito itsura? Okay. Let me give you some examples. Let's just say we are asked to get the derivative of x plus 3 tapos quantity x minus 4. What if I give you this one? Do you think itong rule na to, which is sum and difference rule of differentiation, is still applicable dito? And here's the thing. If ito applicable dito, then how about this one? Okay, the derivative of x plus 3 times square root of x minus 4. How about to? If this is applicable, then do you think ito applicable din to sa paggamit ng itong rule? The answer is what? The answer is it depends kung pwede mo siyang i-expand. Okay? So, let's take a look on both sides. On here, on the left side, dito tayo magsimula. Quantity x plus 3 times quantity x minus 4. Do you think pwede mo to i-expand? Kasi ito naka-factored form to eh. Parang naka-simplified siya in a way that is in factored form. So, can you expand this one? The answer is yes. How about sa kanan daw? Kaya mo ba itong expand? Ito. The answer is no. Bakit? Kapag kasi may square root, yung isang polynomial, hindi mo yan kayang i-expand. Okay, you cannot simply expand that one. Okay? So, therefore, sum and difference rule of differentiation is still applicable to this type of examples if and only if they are if and only if they can be expanded. Okay? So, if ito, kapag may nakita kang may parenthesis na ganyan, tapos kaya mo pala siyang i-expand, then, pwede tayo gumamit ng sum and difference rule of differentiation. So, try nga natin itong i-expand. Ito, quantity x plus 3 times quantity x minus 4. So, in here, we're going to use the FOIL method. Okay? So, remember, pag sabi natin FOIL, we have the letter F, O, I, N, L. Okay? F stands for the first terms. O starts for us. Wait. F stands for the first. O starts for the outer. I starts for the inner. And L starts for last. So let's start first with the F. Yun yung the first terms. So i-multiply natin yung mga first terms, which is yung x and x. So x times x is x squared. Next, yung O, the outer terms. So, we're going to multiply yung basically nasa outer part nila, which is si x at saka si negative 4. Siya yung nasa outer part. So, therefore, we will multiply 4 times, negative 4 times x. So, we will have negative 4x. Next, let's multiply the inner terms, meaning yung nasa loob. Okay? If we have the outer, then we have the inner. So we will multiply 3 and x. 3 times x is 3x. And lastly, na yun, i-multiply natin yung mga last terms. So the last terms, yun yung basically yung nasa last place mismo, which is si 3 at saka si negative 4. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Now let's add them together. So we will have x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 12. So combining the similar terms, we will have x squared minus x minus 12. Okay? So therefore, we've already expanded this one. Then we can simply rewrite the factored form into their expanded form, which is cx squared minus x minus 12. Ay, bakit ganito yung parenthesis ko? Wait lang, sorry. Yan. So, magiging x squared minus x minus 12. Ayan. So, that is how you do it. Okay? So, kapag may nakita kang parang naka-parenthesis, tapos pwede mo siyang i-expand, then no problem. Kasi pag na-expand mo siya, magiging ganito yung tsura niya. Lahat ng terms naka-separated by the addition or subtraction operation. Hence, we can now apply the sum and difference rule of differentiation. Okay? So, in here, I'm just gonna write on the right side para makupit pa kayong mga spaces. So, in here, we will have the derivative of x squared minus the derivative, there we go, the derivative of x and minus the derivative of 12. So, dito tayo. Now, let's differentiate each of the terms. So, katulad ng kanina, we have, kapag meron tayong variable na may exponent, we will use power rule of differentiation. So, what will happen ulit? Paano ulit yon? Pag power rule of differentiation, copy the exponent, copy the given, then yung exponent part dito, i-subtract mo ng 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1 or just simple as x na lang. Minus derivative ng x. Remember yung second basic rule of differentiation tinuro ko sa inyo? So in here, remember that derivative ng term na may constant at x ay yung constant mismo. Since yung constant dito sa x ay si 1, okay, therefore, ang sagot mo rito ay 1. And lastly, kunin natin derivative na constant term na si 12. So remember, constant term, tapos yung derivative niya ay 0. So therefore, we have 0. Hence, we have 2x minus 1. So that is now our answer. So let's have some of the examples na sa tingin natin na pwede pala siyang i-expand. Okay? Suppose we have the derivative of x squared times quantity x minus 4. This one. So is this algebraic expression can be expanded? Pwede ba itong may expand? The answer is yes. Pwede pa. Okay? Try nyo itong i-distribute si x squared dito sa expression. What will happen? Okay, if we distribute x squared to this expression, yung naka-parenthesis, then ang mangyayari dyan, we will have x cubed minus 4x squared. Yan yung mangyayari. Okay? So, as you can see, it's already expanded and nakaseparated na yung mga terms by addition or subtraction operation. So therefore, we can now apply the sum and difference rule of differentiation. So we will have the derivative of, yan, the derivative of x cubed minus the derivative of 4x squared. Okay? So sa first term, derivative ng x cubed. So power rule of differentiation na to ha. So when it comes to this, anong gagawin natin? We will have 3 times x cubed, okay, or x raised to 3. Tapos, i-subtract mo yung exponent by 1. Okay? Then next, ito, we have 4x squared. So that means meron tayong constant na 4 at meron tayong algebraic function na x squared. So this is basically the fourth basic rule of differentiation. Kapag mayroon kang nakitang ganitong term, anong gagawin mo? Do not touch the constant. Just touch the katabi niya, which is yung algebraic function niya na si x squared. So, i-simplify natin to. 3 minus 2, 3 minus 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. So minus 4 times the derivative ng x squared. So we will use power rule of differentiation. So magiging 2 times x raised to 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1 or just simple as x na lang. So let's simplify further. We will have 3x squared minus 8x. Okay? And this is now your final answer. Or pwede pa natin siyang i-simplify. Say 3x squared at saka si negative 8x, both of them are divisible by x. Okay? So that means yung greatest common factor nilang dalawa ay si x. So we can factor out x in this expression. So we will have x times quantity 3x minus 8. That's it. See, that is now your final answer. All right? So ganun lang naman guys actually. So let's have more examples sa mga algebraic expressions na pwede pang i-expand. So how about this one? Ito medyo mahaba to ha. So how about this one? The derivative of the product ng isang binomial, which is sabihin natin x minus 3, and isang trinomial. So we have x squared minus 3x plus 4. So we have a binomial and a trinomial. Remember, ang binomial, isa siyang type ng polynomial na kung saan meron kang two given terms. While yung trinomial, isa siyang polynomial na meron kang tatlong terms. So we have x squared, negative 3x at 4. So this is a trinomial. In here, on the left side, we have x and negative 3. So dalawa lang sila. So that means it is a binomial. Alright? So let's start. So paano to? First, try nyo itong tanongin yung sarili ninyo. Pwede ba kaya itong i-expand? Okay? Can you expand this one? The answer is yes. Pwede pa itong i-expand. Okay? When it comes to this one is still simple. Okay? It is simpler than those na mga polynomials na may mga mahabang exponents. Okay? Ito, yung exponent din ng dalawa ay 1, 1. Okay? So that means it's still easy to expand them. Pwede pa naman silang i-expand. Pero kapag ito dumagdag ng mga exponent more than 1 or kaya yung exponent ay negative, hindi na yun kayang i-expand. I will discuss later on what if kaya merong yung polynomial na may negative exponent. Okay, what if? Okay. So ito, okay lang pa naman to. Basta kapag yung exponent ay more than 1 na, that depends on you kung kaya mo. So let's go with this one first. Okay, so how can we expand this one? So in here, first, let's have this one muna. X minus 3, tapos x squared minus 3x plus 4. So ito gagawin natin. So we will manually distribute. Manually. Okay? So, when I say manually, yun yung pili ka lang ng isang polynomial dyan. Tapos, kung ano yung napili mong polynomial dyan, i-distribute mo yung terms nila sa kabilang expression. So, for me, pinili ko si x minus 3 kasi siya yung simple or the simpler polynomial simpler polynomial lang siya kaysa sa trinomial. So, I pick x minus 3. Then, ang gagawin ko, yung mga terms nila, terms niya, i-distribute ko siya sa polynomial na katabi niya. Okay? That's how you manually expand. But let's take it slow para mas gets you pa. So, di ba, i-distribute natin yung mga terms sa pinili kong polynomial, which is si x minus 3, sa isang trinomial, which is ito yon. Okay? Or other polynomials given. So, let's start first with the x. Let's distribute x to this trinomial. So, x times x squared, magiging x cubed. X times negative 3x, magiging negative 3x squared. And x times 4, magiging plus 4x. Okay? So, ayan. Tapos na tayo. Now, let's proceed to the next term, which is the negative 3. So, let's distribute negative 3 sa expression na to. Tapos, magsisimula ka maglagay ng mga mga distributed terms dito sa dito sa ibabaw or sa baba ng negative 3x squared. Okay? So negative 3 times x squared, so we will have negative 3x squared. Dito ka magsisimula. Okay? Kumbaga yung second term mo, kung ano yung second term mo dito sa taas, okay, diyan ka magsisimula sa baba niya. Okay? So negative 3 times x squared, we have negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 3x, that would be positive 9x. Then lastly, negative 3 times 4, we will have negative 12. Ayan na siya. So that's it. Now, what we can do now is we will combine them. So we will combine them by adding together. So since mag-isa lang si x cubed, so we will have x cubed. Negative 3x squared minus 3x squared. So this would be negative 6x squared. Next, 9 plus 4, or I'm sorry, 9x plus 4x. That would be 13x if I'm correct. Tama ba? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Tama, tama. Then, we have negative 12. Isa lang siya, so we're just going to leave it as it is like this one. So yun. Kumbaga, biniring down ko lang si negative 12. So therefore, ito na yung magiging expanded form mo. Okay? So, we will have the derivative of, mali pala ako ng parenthesis. The derivative of x cubed minus 6x squared, 6x squared, plus 13x minus 12. Ayan. So now, since naka-expand na siya, we can now use sum and difference rule of differentiation. So, pwede na. So, we will have the derivative of x cubed, okay, minus the derivative of 6x squared, plus the derivative of 13x, and minus the derivative of 12. Ayan na siya. So now let's get the derivative of x cubed. We will use power rule of differentiation. So if we're going to use power rule of differentiation, magiging 3x raised to 3 minus 1. So this would be 3x squared. Next, minus the derivative of 6x squared. So ito naman, kapag meron kang constant at algebraic function, so what you're going to do is you're going to hayaan lang si constant at i-differentiate lang yung katabi niya, which is si x squared. Plus derivative ng 13x. So ito, when it comes to this one, we're going to have 13 as your answer. Remember, second basic rule of differentiation na tinuro ko is a term na may constant at x. Anong derivative ng constant at x? Ay yung constant mismo. So, if we have the derivative of 13x, the answer is 13. Next, last but not the least, yung derivative ng 12, which is a constant term. So, magiging 0. So, ipagpatuloy natin. So 6 times the derivative ng x squared, we will use power rule of differentiation. So magiging 2x raised to 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1, or just simple as x na lang. Plus 13 minus 0. So in here, Meron na tayong 3x squared minus 6 times 2 magiging 12x plus 13 minus 0, 13. Therefore, ito na yung final sagot natin. Okay? 3x squared minus 12x plus 13. Ayan. This is already simplified because we cannot factor this anymore. Okay? Wala silang common factor or greatest common factor dito. Okay? So, yeah. Okay na to. Alright? Ang greatest common factor lang nila ay si 1 lang. Pero other than that, wala. So, we cannot just factor this out. Okay. Now, what if meron tayong dalawang trinomial? Paano naman yun? So, let's just say meron tayong the derivative of x squared minus x plus 1 times 1pt 2x squared minus 3x plus 3. So, paano to? How will you expand this one? Or, first question, do you think we can expand this one? The answer is yes. Pwede pa. Pwede pa siyang i-expand. Okay? It's not a problem. You can still expand this one. Wala naman ang problema dyan. Okay? Pwede pa. But the question is how? How will you expand this one? So dito, we're still going to manually i-expand natin sila. Kung anong ginawa natin yung recent problem, yung isang binomial at isang trinomial, tapos na-expand natin, yun ang gagawin natin dito. Okay? We're going to do the same thing here. Alright? So first, pili ka ng isang polynomial na i-distribute mo siya sa isang polynomial. Okay? I recommend piliin mo yung mas madaling polynomial or mukhang simple na polynomial. So for me, pipiliin ko to, si x squared minus x plus 1. Isulat ko siya rito x squared minus x plus 1. Tapos ito, meron tayong 2x squared minus 3x plus 3. Ayan. So take a look. So pinili ko to kasi ito yung mas simple pa siyang tignan kaysa sa ito. So therefore, it's easy for me to distribute each of these terms sa sa isang polynomial na ito. Okay? So let's start with the x squared. Distribute natin si x squared sa expression na to. X squared times 2x squared magiging 2x raised to 4. Next, x squared times negative 3x magiging negative 3x cubed. Next, x squared times 3 magiging positive 3x squared. Ayan na. So we're done with the x squared. Next, si negative x. So distribute natin si negative x dito sa expression. At saan tayo magsisimula? Saan tayo maglalagay ng mga distributed terms? Sa ibabaw ng second term. Okay? Below the second term. So negative x times 2x squared magiging negative 2x cubed. Then next, negative x times negative 3x magiging positive 3x squared. The next, negative x times 3 magiging negative 3x. Ayan na siya. Okay? So that's it. So far, so good. Now, ganun din gagawin natin sa isang term na si 1. We will distribute it to the to the polynomial na ito. So distribute natin siya. And saan tayo magsisimula maglagay ng mga distributed terms? Sa ibabaw ng second term, di ba? So which one though? Dito tayo magsisimula. Dito, sa ibabaw ng second term. Okay? So, 1 times 2x squared, 2x squared. 1 times negative 3x, magiging negative 3x. And 1 times 3, magiging plus 3. You see the pattern here? Para siyang, stair siya, di ba? Parang pa-stair siya, kung nakikita niyo. Okay? So, dapat ganun siya itsura. Alright? So, yun. Now, we can now combine similar terms. Pwede natin mag-combine ng similar terms. Okay? So, let's bring down 2x raised to 4 since siya lamang isa. Let's combine negative 3x cubed and negative 2x cubed. Magiging negative 5x cubed to. Then here, 3x squared plus 3x squared plus 2x squared. Magiging 8x squared. Okay? Tama ba ako? 6. Tama. Tapos next, combine natin si negative 3x at saka si negative 3x. So negative 3x minus 3x ay negative 6x. And we have 3, siya lang mag-isa, so we will bring it down. That's it. Yan na yung expanded form niya. 2x raised to 4 minus 5x cubed plus 8x squared minus 6x plus 3. Pero, para hindi kayo magkalito or para hindi kayo mahirapan, let's try to use this another method, which I do believe it's simpler than doing manual expansion. So, paano yun? So, I will introduce you to this technique na tinatawag natin na lattice method. Okay? So, this one, kasi nalaman ko lang to sa libro ng elementary algebra. So, lattice method is basically useful kapag magpa-factor ka ng mag-expand ka ng given two trinomials. Katulad nito. Okay? We have given two trinomials, naka-factor, tapos expand natin siya. So, ganito yun. First, draw a square. Okay? Tapos yung square na yon dapat meron kang 9 individual squares doon. So, mag-draw ako Para siyang Rubik's Cube. Okay? So, una, imagine nyo to na square na to Imagine na this is a square. Tapos, mag-draw ako ng line dito. Okay? And then here. Parang siyang Rubik's Cube. Parang ganito. Ayan. Ganun lang. Then, ang gagawin ko is mag-draw ako ng diagonal line. Okay? Yung pag-draw ng diagonal line ay starting from this point up to this point. So, pag ganun. Kumbaga, pataas siya. Okay? Makakonect siya sa bottom part or bottom left ng vertex to the top right vertex. So, pag ganun. Ay, sorry. So, pag ganun siya. Okay? Pag ganun. Okay? So, we will do the same thing to the other squares individually. Okay? So, ayan. Then, sa baba ng diagonal line, okay, kada square, di ba may diagonal line? So, sa baba ng diagonal line, lagyan nyo ng 0. So, lagay ko 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Ayan. So, that's it. Now, ang gagawin natin is, kunin natin yung mga, what do you call this one? Kunin natin yung mga coefficients ni x squared minus x plus 1. Okay? So, actually, no. Wag muna. First things first is, pumili ka which one nasa taas and which one of the trinomial nasa gilid. Okay, yun muna yung tanong ko. Which one of the trinomial would be on the top and which one would be on the side? So for me, piliin ko si x squared minus x plus 1 sa taas. So ito, meron akong x squared minus x plus 1. Tapos sa gilid, meron na akong, wait lang meron na akong 2x cubed, cube tuloy squared minus 3x tapos plus 3. Okay? Ngayon, ang gagawin natin is, kunin lang natin yung mga coefficients nila, kumbaga yung constant lang nila. Si x squared, syempre, di ba, mag-isa lang siya, wala siyang coefficient. Pero actually, meron naman. It's invisible, which is si 1. The same thing kay negative x. ang coefficient niya rito ay si 1, negative 1, kumbaga. So therefore, we will have 1, negative 1, at positive 1. Okay? The same thing here, dito sa kanan, kunin lang natin constant niya. We have 2, negative 3, at positive 3. So anong gagawin natin? I-distribute natin si 1 dito sa mga given coefficients. Okay? Kasi kada row, meron kang 2 sa first row, meron kang negative 3 sa second row, at meron kang 3 sa third row. So, you're going to distribute them. So, 1 times 2, anong sagot mo? Di ba 2? Ilalagay mo siya rito sa taas ng diagonal line. Tapos next, 1 times negative 3, so magiging negative 3. Ilagay natin yan sa taas. The next, 1 times 3, so magiging 3. Okay? So, dito naman tayo sa second column na si negative 1. The same pattern. Okay? Negative 1 times 2, negative 2. Negative 1 times negative 3, magiging 3. Okay? Negative 1 times 3, magiging negative 3. Okay? Then now sa last column. Okay? 1 times 2, 2. 1 times negative 3, negative 3. 1 times 3, 3. Ayan na. So, okay na. Now, what to do? Ngayon, i-combine mo naman sila by adding them. Now, here's the question. How would you add them? So, by adding them, i-follow mo yung yung trace o yung line ng diagonal line. Okay? Kumbaga, we will add them by yung flow or yung pattern ng diagonal line mo. So, pag ganito, pag ganon siya. Okay? Pag ganon. Okay, there we go. And there. Okay, pag ganun siya. We will exclude 0 here. Okay, i-exclude lang natin siya. Tanggalin natin siya rito. Okay? So, try natin. Okay? So, ito, si 2, mag-isa lang siya. So, we will have 2. Next, we will add dito sa pattern na to, negative 3 plus 0 minus 2, we have negative 5. Next, dito naman tayo. 3 plus 0 plus 3 plus 0 plus 2, magiging 8. Ayan. Then next, dito, 0 minus 3 plus 0 minus 3 plus 0, we have negative 6. And lastly, 0 plus 3 plus 0, magiging 3 siya. So let's copy all of the expressions, yung coefficients. So we have 2 minus 5, 8, negative 6, and 3. Okay. So, okay na to. Ngayon, we need a variable. Okay? So, how can we have variables sa mga terms? So, it's simple. Okay? First, take a look at the given. Di ba we have x squared minus x plus 1 at meron tayong 2x squared minus 3x plus 3. Una, kunin mo yung exponent na may highest degree. Kumbaga, may malaking exponent. So dito sa left side, we have x squared. Siya yung highest na exponent. On the right side, we have 2x squared. Kasi ito, meron siyang highest na exponent na si 2. So magkapareha sila. So anong gagawin natin? Ang gagawin natin is simple. X raised to yung exponent nito, yung highest exponent ng kaliwa, tapos exponent ng kanan exponent ng kabilang side na malaki, i-add mo silang dalawa. Okay? Ulitin ko. So what to do? Magiging x raised to yung exponent na may highest degree, which is ito, si x squared. So magiging 2 plus dun sa right side, yung term na may highest degree, which is may highest exponent, which is si 2 pa rin. So, magiging plus 2. So, is equal to x raised to 4. Nagigets nyo ba ako? Nagigets nyo ba? Kumbaga like, kunin mo lang si x, tapos kung ano yung highest exponent nila, i-add mo sila. So, di ba 2 at 2? So, 2 plus 2. Ganun lang. Okay? In other words, ganun lang naman. So, yun, x raised to 4. Ngayon, since we have x raised to 4, anong gagawin natin? So, we will have this pattern. Okay? So, what will happen here? Okay, di ba meron tayong 2, negative 5, 8, negative 6, tapos 3. Tapos to, yan yung maging starting variable mo. So dito ka magsimula kay 2. So magiging 2x raised to 4. Tapos pagpunta mo sa ibang term, okay, bawasan mo ng isang exponent. So magiging x cube yan. Tapos pag proceed mo pa on the right side, bawasan mo pa ng exponent, magiging x squared. Tapos pagpunta mo sa ibang term, bawasan mo, magiging x yan. And pagpunta mo sa huli, magiging x raised to 0. And remember, anything raised to 0 except 0 is equal to 1. So therefore, magiging 3 times 1 na to. So 3 times 1 is 3. So now, let's add them together. We have 2x raised to 4 minus 5x cubed plus 8x squared minus 6x plus 3. O, diba? So it's simple. Very simple at all. Okay? So it's up to you kung gusto nyo tong manually method or manual method on how would you expand two trinomials or the usage of the lattice method. So it's up to you. So burahin ko lang to ha kasi I really need some space. Okay, burahin ko lang to. Okay. That's it. So i-copy ko na lang to for the sake of time na lang kasi may limit time kasi ako sa pag-discuss na yon. So in here, we will have the expanded form nito, which is eto. Nge, nasa baba. Iusog ko na lang. Ayan. There you go. So that's it. Now, we can mali pa ako ng grammar. Now, we can differentiate. Okay? So ito, magiging derivative ng 2x raised to 4 minus derivative ng 5x squared plus derivative ng 8x squared. Oh, wait, hindi pala to. Cube pala to, guys. Sorry. 5x cube pala. Sorry. Tapos 8x squared minus the derivative of 6x. And lastly, plus the derivative ng 3. Ayan. So now let's differentiate. So we have the derivative of 2x raised to 4. So we have a constant, tapos meron tayong algebraic function dito. So ilabas natin si constant at hawakan lang natin yung katabi niya, which is si x raised to 4. Okay? The same thing here on the second term. Okay? Magiging 5 times the derivative of x cubed. Okay? Then sa third term, ganun din, magiging 8 times the derivative of 8x squared. Alright? Then wait lang, mali pala ko ng paggamit. Then sa 6x, derivative ng 6x, madali na to, this is negative 6. And lastly, derivative ng 3 ay 0. So i-differentiate natin tong si x raised to 4 sa first term, basically. 2 times derivative ng x raised to 4, magiging 4x raised to 4 minus 1. Okay? So magiging 4x cubed to. So minus 5 times derivative ng x cubed, magiging 3x raised to 3 minus 1, which is maging 2 na siya. Plus 8 times the derivative ng x squared, so magiging 2x raised to 2 minus 1, o magiging x lang siya, kasi 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so anything raised to 1 is just the answer for that is yung term niya mismo. Okay? Kumbaga, x raised to 1 is the same as x. So we can just have x na lang. Okay? Then, let's copy the other terms. Minus 6 plus 0. So let's now simplify further. 2 times 8 magiging, 2 times 4x cubed pala. So magiging 8x cubed. Tapos 5, negative 5 times 3x squared magiging negative 15x squared. Then next, 8 times 2x magiging 16x. Tapos negative 6 plus 0. I-combine natin si negative 6 plus 0, we will have negative 6. And therefore, yan na yung magiging final answer natin. Ito, di na kaya itong i-factor out kasi nakasimplify na to. And all of these terms doesn't have greatest common factor. So we can just leave it as it is na lang. Okay? So yeah, ganun lang naman yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? Now, here's the thing. How about this one? Okay? Kapag, let's just say, meron tayong ganito. The derivative of x plus 3 squared. Kumbaga, meron na tayong exponent. Do you think it's possible to expand this one? The answer is yes. Pwede pa. We can still expand this one. Pwede pa naman siyang i-expand. Okay? So, here's the thing. Kasi right now, we're not going to solve this one. Rather, we're going to discuss it because that would be the discussion for the next part. Kasi here's the thing. Kanina, di ba, I show you the example. Nakalimutan ko na yun eh. Basta, I'm just gonna write it on my own. X plus 3, tapos times the square root of x plus 4, or x minus 4 yata yun. Di ba ito, hindi mo to kayang i-expand, di ba? Hindi mo to kaya i-expand yan. So, how will you differentiate this one kapag di mo to kayang i-expand? Okay? Another thing, let's just say meron kang meron kang isang binomial, let's just say x minus 2, tapos yung exponent niya ay more than 3 or more than 4. Let's just say raised to 5. O, di ba napakahaba niyan? Remember, kapag kasi, ito bigyan ko kayo ng example, which is ito. Kapag meron kang x plus 3 squared, ibig sabihin nun, meron kang dalawang x plus 3. So, magiging x plus 3 times x plus 3. Okay? This one, on the other hand, di ba raised to 5? Ibig sabihin nun, meron kang 5 x minus 2. So, magiging x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2, and last but not the least, times x minus 2. So, you see, ang haba. So, syempre, i-expand mo to lahat. You're going to expand them. Okay? Para ma-apply mo yung sum and difference rule of differentiation. Pero here's the thing mahaba siya, hala. Kasi 'di ba mapapagod kayo rito? How will you expand this one? Okay? So again, it's possible, pero mahaba. What more pa kaya kapag ito ay more than 10? So let's just say x minus 2 raised to 20. So paano to? 'Di ba? Okay? How will you able to expand it? Okay? Another thing, okay, what if, let's just say meron tayong x minus 2 raised to 3 times 2x squared plus 4 plus 3. Do you think you can expand this one? The answer is yes, pwede naman. Kaso mahaba nga lang. Mahaba, like super haba talaga. So paano na yun? Okay? So ito, we're going to discuss this one in advanced parts. Okay? Advanced parts na to. Alright? For now, we're going to expand the one that has the smallest exponent. Hindi siya fraction, hindi siya negative. Rather, yung kaya nating expand. Katulad nito, yung may naka-squared, tapos ito, let's just say, 2x minus 3 raised to 2 times x plus 1. Ito, pwede pa tong i-expand. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Pwede pa tong i-expand. Pwede mo ring i-expand ito. 3x plus 4 plus 4 raised to 3. Ito, pwede pa tong i-expand because this one is easy. Ito, easy rin to. And this one is also easy as well. Okay? Especially if you are going to expand a trinomial. Kunwari, x squared minus 4x plus 5. Ito, okay? Meron siyang exponent na 2. So can you expand the square of a given trinomial? The answer is yes. So this one, itong example na to, ito, at ito, kayang ko itong expand and kaya nyo rin. However, kapag yung sobra na, yung exponent, sobra na, kunwari, meron tayong polynomial, tapos exponent niya ay more than 4, dun, iba na yun. Okay? Iba na yun. That would be very, very long process. So that would be discussed soon. Okay? Discuss natin yan soon. Okay? So tomorrow, what we're going to, tomorrow tuloy, the next video pala, ang i-discuss natin is all about a given algebraic expression na merong exponent that is at at most umabot sa 3 but what do you call this one, but at least 1. Okay, kumbaga hanggang 3 lang yung exponent kasi that's the easiest one. Mas madali pa yun kaysa ito yung may exponent na greater than 3 tulad nito, x minus 2 raised to 5. So that would be a different scenario na. Okay? Pag negative kasi, magiging reciprocal yan. So, ibang topic na yun to be discussed in the next video na rin. Okay? So, yun lang guys, and I hope you have learned something in this video. See you!